Good morning, everybody. This is your girl, Sulondia Hammond, a.k.a. Sue Help, baby. Money, 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 money. That's right, y'all. It is Money Wednesday. I want to welcome y'all to the call because, you could have been anywhere else in the world, but you decided to be here with me on your Wednesday morning for 15 minutes of empowerment, of motivation, and business, baby. So I want to salute you guys. My hats go off to you. Now, for those of you that are just tuning in for the first time, my name is Sulondia Hammond, a.k.a. Sue Help, baby, and I am excited that you are joining me on the first call. Listen, I invite you back every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, same back channel, same time for this Wednesday call. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a freedom entrepreneur, and sometimes I lose track of days and track of time. But today is Wednesday. That is correct. One of my favorite days of the week. Reason why I wanted to do this call, guys, is because so many people have a hard time getting through the week, a hard time trying to make it, to finish it. Mondays you be about ready to kill yourself, and on Fridays you're doing the happy dance because it's payday and you got 2 days off. Oh, my goodness. Well, today's call is going to focus on, are you part of the 98%? Are you part of the 2%? And, guys, I got to tell you, for those who don't know my story, at one point in my life, I was a part of I started out a part of the 98%, where I was broke without hope, where I was broke without money, where I was broke without a vision, without a dream. Then I fell into the 2%, came into some money with rental properties and rehabbing them and refinancing them and renting them out to people, started doing some of the things that I like, and, oh, man, lo and behold, there was a crash with the market, and, guys, I had to file bankruptcy. My home that I lived in was foreclosed upon, and I went through repossessions. They took the Cadillac ESV, y'all. They took the BMW. They took everything, and all I had was just what I came into the world with, which was my mind, my soul. I didn't have peace because I was messed up. But, I got to tell you this. Because I was part of the 98% and a part of the 2%, I think I like the 2% better. Now, you're probably like, Sue, what in the world are you talking about? Well, guys, if you are on my Facebook, and if you're not, get there ASAP. Just type in Sulondia Hammond, Sulondia, last name Hammond, Hammond. I posted something up about a week ago that asked, are you in the 98% or the 2%? Now, the 98% is the poverty level. That's where most people in the world fit into. They're making less than $400,000 a year. And if you're making, below a certain amount, you are considered poor. To be in the 2%, you have to be making nowadays about $400,000 a year to be considered wealthy. Now, we're going to break that down just a little bit more. Harvard did a study, and here's the thing, guys. This percentage has been shifting. Now, most times I tell you on this call, it's about motivation and getting your mindset right, getting your money right, getting your business right, living your dreams. But I wanted to break down some hardcore facts. And, with facts, they tend to change because the data changes. But the truth remains the same. You are poor if you are without hope. You are poor if you are without vision. You are poor if you are not adequately managing your finances, okay? So that's the truth. Guys, Harvard did a study, and the numbers have been fluctuating. It used to be that 95% of the people either failed or were poor, and only 5% were successful and rich. And nowadays, it fluctuates between 97.3% and 98.2%. And here's what has not changed, though. They've noticed that in the last few years, the poverty rate has not decreased. However, people that are in the 2% level, the wealthy, the successful, they are growing at a 2% rate each year. So have you ever heard the saying that the poor get poorer and the wealthy get wealthier, or the rich get richer? Well, it is true. It is true, but it's not because they are underhandedly obtaining wealth. Now, mind you, some of them might be, but for the most part, that's not the case. It is simply because they have a different mindset. Boom! That's it. That's it. Most of them didn't come from a silver spoon in their mouth. Most of them didn't come from a wealthy background. Most of them had to struggle. Most of them had to work their way to success. But here's how they got the money, 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 money. They had the money mindset, the money mentality, even before the money was in the bank. So that's why they are continuing to get richer, because the mindset is so different. And that's why I harp on, guys, your mindset is important. Because what you see in your mind, what you see in your mind's eye, your vision, what you envision, what you feel, what you believe, guys, that's what you manifest. That's what you bring into reality. So if you look around yourself and all you see is poverty and all you see is circumstances that are going to prevent you from obtaining wealth, then guess what, guys? You are going to stay in that 98%. Now, I don't know about you. But I'm not trying to be up in no 98%. I'm trying to be up in the 2%. And guys, here it is. The thing is, to get into that club, because they are continuing to grow, you got to make even more money to get into that club nowadays. It used to be where if you made $250,000, you were considered in the top 2 to 3%. Guys, that thing has gone up to $400,000. Why? Because the top 2 to 3% people that are successful and have wealth are continuing to acquire wealth, which means that if you are going to get into that group, you've got to make more money because they are continuing to make money. They didn't reach a certain plateau and just stop. No. See, the mindset for them is they want to continually grow because, guys, I say it all the time, if you are not growing, that means that you aren't doing a thing, which means that you are eventually going to die, literally and figuratively. So here's the good news. I can tell you how to get into the 2%. And if you were listening, if you were really, really, really listening, you already know that it starts first in the mind. Now, I love to read, guys, and I'm always throwing books out there for you. I picked up Dani Johnson's First Steps to Wealth. I think I picked up this book about a year ago. And I was sitting there, I was like, what am I going to talk to you guys about today? And instantly in my mind, the word vision and money popped into my head. And so I picked up Dani's book, and boom, it turned to the 98% versus the 2%. And I was like, man, I was just talking about that last week on Facebook. And I want to read to you guys just a little bit from her book, a story that she had, okay? So bear with me here. It goes out, my friend, I have a question for you. When you started out in life, was it your goal to end up where you are now? To be working at a dead-end job, struggling in your business, drowning in debt, canceling the vacations you counted on, lacking the time to spend time with your family, or just altogether giving up on your dreams? At the same time, have you ever had something hit you so hard that it took your breath away? Now, I'm not talking about physically losing your breath, as would happen if you were kicked by a horse. I'm talking about hearing or reading something that was so shocking that it felt just as if a horse had kicked you in the chest. Well, Dani went on to write, she says, 22 years ago, I ran across a statistic that did just that, shocking me to the point of taking my breath away. It was so unsettling, in fact, that I could not get it out of my mind. But before I share that statistic, let me first tell you about how I once encountered a living example of it. I was at a McDonald's eating my 2 cheeseburgers and large fries when my eyes gazed up and I saw her, a diminutive woman with a weathered face that showed all the hard times she had experienced in her lifetime. She was short, thin, curly perm, gray hair, and a frail body. Her back was hunched over as if she'd wiped tables and carried a stack of trays that looked to be nearly half her size. And she completely captivated me. As if computer programmed, she would wipe a table, pick up the stack of trays, move on to the next table, and then sit to rest, wiping the sweat off of her brow. I somehow felt compelled to reach out to this woman. I wanted to know why she was working at McDonald's. But when I saw her resting, I quickly tossed out the assumptions out of my head, and I decided to start up a conversation. So Dani says she went over to her, and in a soft voice, she said, hi. She said the woman smiled and said, well, hello there, honey. So she said they chit-chat, and she asked her, how long have you been working here? And the lady responded, for a little while, she said. Dani asked, do you like what you do? She said, well, honey, I'm just glad to have a job. Wow. So it goes on to say, Dani asked her, really? Why is that? And the lady responds, Social Security and my husband's pension just is not enough to live on, so I have to work. Dani asked, what? Are you kidding me? No, sweetheart, I wish I was. So Dani asked her, how old are you? She sighed and she chuckled and she said, I'm 89 and I'll be 90 next month. Guys, you see where this is going, right? 90 years old, working at McDonald's, Social Security is not enough, pension is not enough. This lady is 90 years old, should be sitting at the house enjoying her grandkids or traveling on vacation in the world, but she's working at McDonald's. So I'm going to go back on to the story, okay? Dani says, tears welled up in her eyes, and she was so upset. She wanted to tell the lady to quit your job, and I'll help you and your husband and blah, blah, blah. But, she couldn't do that. But she felt like me. She said, hey, these are your golden years. You should be enjoying your life, not lugging around a stack of trays, cleaning up after some lazy people who leave their own trash and mess on the table of a fast food joint. Guys, 98% of the people in this world are miserable. Why are they miserable, guys? Because 98% of the people in this world are poor. They're broke. They lack vision. They lack wealth. They lack desire. They lack tenacity. They lack goals. Guys, 98% of the people in this world. But here's the great thing. Here is the great news, the good news I always tell you guys. You don't have to be a part of that 98%. You can declare to be a part of that 2%. And I'm going to give you just a few tips on how you can do that. And maybe we'll go into next week and continue those tips. But I want to tell you something, guys. Being a person that has lived in the 98% and a person who's lived in the 2%, you definitely want to be in the 2% if you're not there. Now, I want to tell you, what is it going to take? It's going to take vision. I've already said that. You've got to have the mindset, okay? When you were young, I'm sure there were things that you wanted to do, places you wanted to be, a person you wanted to be, and you had dreams. But I don't know, maybe when you got older, guys, you allowed people to discourage you and tell you what you couldn't do. And as a result, that's why you're in the 98%. I want to tell you that most of the people that are working their jobs today, they're not excited. They're not happy. They're too busy trying to make ends meet. They're, as Oprah said last week, they're one flat tire away from losing it all. Guys, that's a horrible way to be, to have a flat tire in your car and not have the money to be able to fix it, not have the money to be able to fix it and get to work, so therefore you may lose your job and lose it all. That is horrible. I want you to know that 98% of the population shrinks their dreams to fit their income. Meanwhile, the 2% find ways to increase their income so that they can make their dreams happen. Guys, are you in the 98% or are you in the 2%? Huh? Which one are you? Guys, I need you to be in the 2% because I need you to find ways to increase your income so that you can make your dreams happen. I don't want you to be 89 or 90 years old working at McDonald's, lugging a pile of trays because your husband's pension or the Social Security isn't enough to cover you. Guys, that's not what God has intended for us. He said, above all things, I wish that you prosper and be in good health. He says your gifts will make room for you. He has given you everything that you need to be in the 2%. He's given you everything except He's not going to make the decision for you because he gave you the free will to do it yourself. That's the difference between the 98% and the 2%. They have the mentality, they have the balls, they have the persistence, and they are consistent with ensuring that they achieve their dreams, with ensuring that their income is great enough to meet their dreams. So, guys, I want to tell you a little bit more about the difference between 98%ers and 2%ers. Here's the thing. If you want to make money, if you want to be successful financially, you have to expand your income to fit your dreams. Those without a vision, those without knowledge will perish, point blank, and the period. If you don't have vision, if you don't have a plan, it's like wandering around aimlessly. And you'll find yourself at 65 years old, retired, broke, depressed, upset, your body's beaten down, and you just want to give up. When you are, what society tells you, what the world tells you, is that you are supposed to be living your golden years. You're retired now. Guys, don't buy into that hype. Don't buy into that hype. If you are on this call and you are going to a job that you hate, guys, you need to find a way to make your income fit your dreams. You need to find a way to allow your gifts to make room for you. Now, however, if you are on a job and you love that job, but you're not excelling, guys, you need to find a way to go to that next level, to keep continuing to get promotion, to keep excelling. But if the job is not for you, because clearly it wasn't for me, I had to step out and be the entrepreneur that I am. But here's the thing, guys. You have to take action, make a decision, and take action. You see, here's the thing. 2%ers, they think differently about money. You ever been around people who have money? Don't they think differently? They walk differently. They smell differently. They look differently. They talk differently. They're a different species, aren't they? And if you haven't experienced this, go around somebody who's got some money. I mean, really got some money. I'm not talking about somebody who is making $400,000 a year, but their debts are $1 million in debt. That's not rich. So let me, and I'm glad I thought about that. Let me clarify that, guys. Just because you're making $400,000 a year, that doesn't necessarily put you into the wealth bracket, into the 2%. Because if your debt is 2 times more than what you bring in, you are broke. Yeah, you making it on paper, but you broke because you spitting it out. You spitting it out. And guys, if you tune into my Facebook page, I'm going to give you the formula to calculate if you are wealthy, if you are making enough money to sustain yourself, guys. You've got to have a certain percentage of money left over after you pay your debts, after you invest in yourself, and after you put money aside for savings. Most people aren't doing that. As soon as they get paid, the first thing they're doing is shelling out and paying bills. Guys, the first thing you should be doing is investing in yourself. The second thing you should be doing is investing in charities or giving to a worthy cause, sowing into someone else. And the third thing is paying your bills. That's the way it goes, guys. And if you talk to 2%ers, they're going to tell you that. All the books that I read, that's what they say, guys. That's what they're all doing, and that's what I do. Okay, so 2%ers, their minds think differently. And the reason is because they understand that their mind brings about their reality. You know, as I mentioned before, 98% of the population is either dead or broke by the age of 65. Only 2% will do well financially. Now, what's the difference? Tell me, Sue, what's the difference? Well, studies have shown that there is just one difference between 98%ers and the financially successful 2%ers. And that answer is not what you think. It's not where someone was born or who his or her parents were. It's not where they went to school or how many degrees they have. Okay? It has nothing to do with that. It all has to do with the mindset. You see, the way wealthy people think, they think differently. How they make decisions, they make them differently. How they see circumstances and react to them, they do it differently. And that's because of their mindset. Their mindset. You see, 98% of the population thinks circumstances determine success. Yes, that's the poor people, the broke people, the ones without vision. They think their circumstances determine their success. But the 2%ers know better than that. Let me break this down for you. Okay, so guys, let's take 100 people, okay? That means that 98 out of 100 people are broke, without vision, think that other people control their lives and their destinies and their wealth. 98 out of 100. But then there's 2 people who say, no, 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 no. Circumstances has nothing to do with it. Where I was born has nothing to do with it. Whether or not I have a degree, it has nothing to do with it. It's all about my mindset, my vision, and my tenacity to bring my vision into reality. Now, that's pretty low, guys. You take 100 people and only 2 of them are going to make it? 2 of them are going to make? Come on, we got to do something about that. You see, 98% of the population thinks circumstances determine success. But 2%ers, they know better than that. It is never circumstances that determine success in life. It is what you do with the circumstances that determine success in life. You see, the 98%ers have a thinking pattern of lottery and poverty. And they're searching for a way to get more with less by buying winning lottery tickets. Now, I ain't going to lie to you. Every once in a while, I might go buy a lottery ticket. But that's not something I do on a consistent basis. And when I do go and buy a lottery ticket, you know, I look at who's buying a lottery ticket. Guys, I don't see wealthy people coming in there buying lottery tickets. I don't see anybody pulling up in a Lambo, going to the 7-Eleven, buying a lottery ticket. I don't see it. I do not see it. Usually who I see buying lottery tickets, spending their last dollar, is somebody who is in the 98%. Now, I know this call might piss somebody off, and I don't mean to piss you off, but I'm just telling you the truth. I'm telling it like it is, how it is. Think about it. The next time you go and buy a lottery ticket, I want you to look at your surroundings. I want you to look and see who is buying this lottery ticket. Are you seeing wealthy 2% people in there? No. You see, for they know better. They're taking that money and they're investing it in something that they know is going to generate them income. That's why, guys, according to the Harvard Economic Report I read, that's why the wealthy are getting wealthier. The rich are getting richer. That's why there is no growth in the poverty. That's why there's no decrease in the poverty level, because we're not doing things differently. We're not being taught how to use our minds to obtain wealth. Whether you know it or not, you have the power to obtain wealth, but you've got to exercise that power. So, guys, I want to tell you this. I want to say this, and I'm going to end this call. 2%ers are looking for more than one reason to succeed. Okay? They go over and around a problem, or they dig a hole just to find a way to succeed. They make things happen. While the 98%ers, yeah, you guessed it, they're turning back. They're looking for a reason to quit. They want to blame somebody else. They want to blame the economy. They want to blame the politicians. They want to blame the school system. They want to blame my brother for molesting me. They want to blame my father for not being there when I was growing up. They want to blame the fact that my mother had too many kids and I'm living in a project, so therefore I don't have a chance. They want to blame everybody. They want to find an excuse to rest in their mediocrity. They want to find an excuse to continue to lay down in the bed with complacency. They want to find an excuse that will make them feel okay and know that it's all right not to do anything, but just to accept the hands that they were dealt, the circumstances that they live in. While the 2% understands that it is your choice of which group you will belong to. It is your choice. Now, while it is your destiny to be a part of the 2%, it is your choice to be a part of the 98%. Guys, and it used to be that was 95% to 5%. So, and then recently it went from 97% to 3%. Now it's 98% and 2%. Guys, the numbers are growing for the poverty level. But the wealthy is shrinking. That's why those people that are in that percentage are continuing to get richer, because the people that are in the bottom half, the bottom 98%, don't care. They've given up. When they fail to realize that everything they need to succeed dwells within them, that they came here prepared and equipped, ready to succeed, but God gave you the free will. He gave you the choice. The choice to make it happen. So you see, I don't care who you go study. I don't care what you may listen to. I don't care how you may feel right now. At the end of the day, if you want to be in the 2%, you got to make a choice. You see, the successful entrepreneur mindset, according to Dani in her book, she says entrepreneurs, they don't wait for change, they bring it. They don't wait for someone else to solve problems for them. They solve them. They're not afraid of problems. They live in a results-oriented economy. They do not think in terms of what they are being paid hourly. They have no excuse mindset. They do not have it's not my job mentality. Come on, somebody. You know you've been on the job with somebody. First thing they say, that's not my job. What? If you can make it better, why not go and make it better, regardless of it's your job or not? If you can help somebody, why not help somebody, regardless of it's your job or not? You know, the entrepreneur mindset is one that says entrepreneurs, they cannot afford to bring excellence and diligence to the table. They practice, live, preach excellence and diligence. That's the mindset of a successful entrepreneur. Now, I know we have a lot of entrepreneurs out there, but I'm telling you about the mindset of successful entrepreneurs. You know what I'm saying? They bring integrity to the table. They go the extra mile. They ask, what can I do to make this deal so sweet for this client that it is irresistible not to work with me? You see, successful entrepreneurs, they are big picture thinkers and self-motivated. Self-motivated. You don't have to tell them to get out of bed and start a project. They're already out the bed because, like E.T. the hip-hop preacher said, sleep is for suckers. You see, successful entrepreneurs, they do not sit around or afraid to call somebody. They're not afraid to get their hands dirty. They know every facet of their business. They have done it themselves, and they have trained someone else to do it as well. They command respect from their employees because their employees see them as still getting their hands dirty. So what? They lead by example, guys. They get in there. They think in terms of what else can be done. Successful entrepreneurs are driven. Guys, you can get into 2%. It's your choice. It's your right. But you ain't going to do it sitting on the couch, being lazy. And when I say sitting on the couch, I don't mean working from home, because I work from home. I'm a successful entrepreneur, published author, motivational speaker, internet marketer, and I do a lot of my work from home. But what I mean by getting off the couch, I mean stop being lazy and actually make some things happen. We need these figures to turn around. We need to be able to put quality schools into our neighborhoods. We need to be able to build community centers that kids can have a place to go where they can have after-school activities that is going to continue to enhance their mindsets. We need to encourage kids to live in their imagination again, because it is in your imagination, out of your imagination, that great things are born. You understand? Because you have to first see it in your mind. But we live in a world where people are telling you to stop daydreaming, stop envisioning, stop imagining. Guys, Einstein said that imagination is the preview of life's coming attraction. So, guys, you have to see it first. You have to live in your imagination. You have to live in your future. You have to get out of your feelings and get into your future, because if you are in your feelings, it could ruin your life. Now, I know this call was tight, but y'all know it was right. And I know it went a little longer than normal because, normally it's a 15-minute call, but I don't know. I couldn't shut up. So I'm hoping that this call has been beneficial to you guys. I really hope that it has served you. And I think we're going to pick up again next week. We're going to continue with Dani's book, First Steps to Wealth, and I'm going to drop that link on my Facebook page if you guys want to grab that book, because we're going to continue to talk about the 98% versus 2%, and I'm going to go and get more data that supports this. But I have to tell you guys, it has nothing to do with really educational level, according to the studies. It says educational level is really irrelevant according to the studies. However, education is very important. So what am I saying to you? Same thing I said earlier, that your degrees does not automatically guarantee you a spot in the 2%, guys. It's all about your mindset. Your mindset guarantees you a spot in the 2%. At the end of the day, if you don't get anything else, you are the reason you are where you are. It has nothing to do with anybody else. You are the reason you are where you are. It is all because of you. It is all because your thinking and your action has gotten you this far. And if you don't like where you are, then maybe it's time to change the way you think and the way you do things. And on that note, guys, I'm about to sign out. I'm going to ask you guys to join me next Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Myself, Coach Sue Ham, and my two other coaches, Coach Terry Clay and Coach Lakeisha Maddox. We do a weekly webinar training online at 7 p.m. If you need more information on that, check out my Facebook page. You can get to my Facebook page by going to sueham.com, SUEHAM.com. And if anybody out there is looking for a motivational speaker or a business speaker, or if you need coaching, if you need help with marketing, guys, definitely go to sueham.com, SUEHAM.com. I am more than willing to help you to get you going in the right place, because I do believe that you need to be in the 2%. I do believe that you were brought here to live the life of your dreams, and that what you have, the world is waiting for it. We need it. Can't nobody bring it like you. Guys, in closing, I'm encouraging you to live, love, learn, and laugh. Don't quit. Follow your dreams to success. I am your girl, your host, your published author, your motivational speaker, internet marketer, radio and TV host. You know, the one that's knocking on your door, waking you up every Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, trying to get you to get up off the couch and do something with your life. You know who I am. I am Sulondia Hammond, a.k.a. Sue Help, baby. And until next time, guys, I am loving you.